The Edge versus Orton package told the story well, but the story still doesn't make any sense to me. He loves him. He loves him. He just wants to kill him. He wants to kill him because he loves him. I felt bad for Edge. I've always liked Edge. I think he's great talent. His first match back had to be in front. He should have got the fucking standing ovation in the stadium. And instead, it's got to be in. This was one. Besides the fact what they did to cover up for the fact they didn't just want to have another match, this was one that needed the people, because this was two main event guys, one making his return after almost 10 years or whatever the fuck. It needed the feedback of the people. They needed to have a match in the ring to play to their strengths. They both can work their asses off. Edge looked like he was in great fucking shape. They needed to be in the ring in front of people, and they could have fucking torn the house down. But this was just fucking rotten. And, I mean, okay, the RKO out of nowhere in the black, outfit, and finally he was masquerading as a cameraman. Even if they'd have stayed in the fucking ring and done 15 minutes of something, it would have been better than, obviously, what they did. I mean, all of the stuff looked good. They were laying shit in, but the pace, it took forever. He beat on Edge forever. The referee counting to 10 took forever. They stayed in the gym forever because they never used the fucking ring past the first two RKOs, did they? And they left and never to return.
That's right.
The brawl in a cool location gets old quick. And under certain circumstances, quicker than others. I've done these before many times over 30 fucking years. You need constant action. You need the chaos of people either trying to stop it or standing around cheering it on. You need to make the point with mayhem and get the fuck out. It needs to be an angle that makes people want to see a fucking showdown match, it's not supposed to be what the showdown match consists of. They go all around the fucking building where they do the old, I hated this about Japan when they got bad on this after a while, when Brody got over so fucking strong and everybody had to brawl in the crowd. They just grab each other by the fucking collar or by the hair and they'll just walk to where the next place they need to go. Staggering and every once in a while swinging at each other. The fighting while going where you need to is what we'll call it. That gets old. A little bit of everything they did works. But what did this thing last 40 fucking minutes? Or thereabouts?
It felt like 40 fucking years.
Well, yes.
This was excruciating. And, also obviously, tell me what you thought. I thought it was pretty bad taste doing the spot where Randy Orton was trying to hang Edge with the weightlifting equipment, considering the Benoit story is fresh in everyone's mind.
I didn't even think about that until right now. There's an extra element of golly there. They worked their asses off and they beat shit out of each other, but this just dragged on and on. It was twice as long as it needed to be. It got too just unbelievable and uncredible in all the places they were going. Why did they need a table that big in the conference room at the Performance Center? In OVW, we had the guys sitting cross-legged on the floor. But they went in offices and storage rooms and the warehouse. The announcers are doing the fucking Masters golf announcing. They're not even freaking out. This is supposedly happening. Nobody's calling the cops. It's just accepted that this is taking place. The last man standing match that did 2 moves in the ring, and for 30 minutes or more, they're hitting each other with everything in the fucking building is not tied down. They've crossed the line, as I mentioned, on Dark Side of the Ring into felonious assault, but yet the referee's just right there to give slow 10 counts, and nobody's freaking the fuck out that shit's being damaged. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to be sued. This is not supposed to happen. the only way this kind of fight works is if it's shit that's not supposed to happen, in addition to being short and to the point. This was being sanctioned as behavior by everybody involved in it. And the announcers weren't even going, oh my God. They were like, he's on the third tee. Cinderella story out of nowhere.
And then they would go silent. Can you imagine? I thought about this watching this because it was infuriating in so many different ways, especially the commentators. WWE commentators typically suck monkey ass. Anything, the Michael Cole era.
Hey, I was a WWF commentator.
Not in this era. Not in this era. Not in the era where these guys are trained by Michael Cole as to do what I guess Vince wants. But the whispering and then the silence. Can you imagine? Just picture any great brawl in Florida history or Memphis. If all of a sudden Lawler's beating the shit out of someone and Lance Russell started whispering.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Gordon Solie?
Or if he'd have laid out and hadn't said mustard everywhere.
Oh my God, Dusty Rhodes is fighting Pac Song. Like, can you just imagine they started whispering in the middle of these moments? It's so counterproductive and stupid. And they had nothing but time to edit this thing. They had nothing but time to fix the commentary, nothing but time to cut out 20 minutes of this endless brawl all over the Performance Center. The referee, I've never seen anyone in my life count to 10 as slow as he did.
Oh, God, it was brutal.
And then as soon as the victory happens, the announcers have been whispering the whole match. The ring announcer, as loud as he can, the winner of the match! There's no one there. Why are you doing that? Anyway, awful. Maybe the worst thing I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of bad shit, but this just wouldn't end. I've seen bad shit that goes 6 minutes. This was 40 minutes. It was awful. Just the worst.
And but wait a minute. Once again, I can hear Orton and Edge both go, well, motherfuckers, we beat the shit. Yes, you beat the shit out of each other for way too long and way too stiffly. And it was preposterous at the end. The DDT on a pickup truck. At that point, I started skipping a minute ahead on a couple of occasions to see if they'd be in any place different. And they'd lay places forever. But then when they finally get up on the top of that truck and they're there forever and they're back and forth or whatever the fuck. But then the referee is saying in this preposterous scenario where they've gone past what a realistic or legitimate fight could have been under these parameters in these locations, and it's just gone on so long that it's not plausible. And the referee goes, come on, he has a family. He has a family. Fuck, we've got families too. We'd like to go back to them.
That's right.
And then the concerto on top of, after crying about it and taking 10 minutes to milk it in front of no people just so that they can get it. And I'm sure they were told to do this so that they could get these facial reaction shots on the camera. Then he gives the fucking concerto to Orton and boom. And the winner, as you said, they have to, I'm not going to stop. If a guy has done all that shit to me, I don't care whether he said he loved me and he used to be my friend or not. After he fucking stuck the goddamn, spatula from the kitchen up my ass, fuck it. I'm just going to take the chair. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to milk it. I'm just going to bash his fucking brains in.
And he did it to his wife.
Yes.
Awful. Just the worst.